Alright guys, welcome back to Penguin's Garage. Today we're installing an oil pan. We're going to get this in there first thing this morning. It's got a new pickup tube. This is out of a T111 pickup truck. I bought this particular one through Trail Gear because it says it's all the factory pans and I was struggling to find a factory pan. So what comes with? It comes with a gasket, the new pickup, and the pan. Everything else is siliconed in place. So the goal today, we're going to get the oil pan in, and then we have Steve coming over. Steve's going to help me set up the links and start the process on the lower control arms, maybe find placement of the upper. I'm waiting on a pitman arm for this thing. I got that through Trail Gear as well. Trail Gear had it, Amazon had it too, so I went through Amazon. In case it's not the right one, I can return it. Don't tell Amazon. So that's pretty much where we're at and what we got going on. If I can get the axle set underneath this thing today and I can get maybe a link hooked up to it, I'd be pretty excited. So come along guys, let's see what we can get done this weekend. Alright guys, so what we're gonna do, first step, drain the oil out of this, and then we're gonna remove all the tins all the way around it. We have to move a wire harness in the front and the inspection plate to the transmission as well, but it's all easy stuff. So 14 mil, undo that. She was about due for an oil change anyways. You want to try and get as much of this oil on you as you can too. It's always a fun challenge. Guys, there's really no job that I don't use this pick. This is a Mac Tools pick. It's very sturdy. I really like this thing. I've put lots of pressure on it before. Never broke it. So, and it's on every single project I work on. I use it, including moving a wire harness out of Givet. A wire harness that I just so happened to have put a bungee cord around to keep it out of my way once already. There we go. This right here, this is a normal scraper. Normal blade. This is what that scraper wants to be when it grows up. This is a carbide tip. This thing, you have to drag with it. If you push, you have to be extremely gentle because it will go straight into aluminum. Even steel like this sometimes they'll go into. Trying to be very careful, but it says no to nothing. I think it's important to note, guys, this truck had 240,000 miles on it, and I don't have one oil leak on it. Not one. I did do the valve cover gaskets when I first got it. I did the timing belt and all that good stuff too, but it did not have any leaks at that point either. And I know for a fact that they never did the timing belt before I got it. because it needed to be done. I'm glad I towed it home from Utah when I first bought it. So guys, the GoPro died. I don't know how far it recorded to, but this is the T111 pickup tube. It's 2 bolts here, and then it originally bolts here. Now what you do is you take these out, and you put this new pipe in that now relocates back here. Not much to it. Just gonna give it a little final snug. Oh, almost forgot. You gotta turn down the calibration. That way you don't put too much stank on it. There we go. Click. Perfect. As we say, those are torqued to German specifications. Guten. Alright, so new pickup tubes in. I'm going to scuff this area up with some Scuff Bright, and then clean it one more time, clean the oil pan, and we're in. Guys, here's how to lay the perfect bead. Perfect, right? Just fucking with you. It's actually the first time I've ever used one of these compressed cans of silicone. Not exactly a fan. This is what it's going to look like. You want a little bit of a bead sticking out. Just a little bit. Nothing too much. And then if you were in a normal situation, you would wait as long as you could. I like to do them, let them sit overnight, but 5 hours or so I would say is a pretty good amount to let the silicone set up before putting oil in it. So we're going to clip this back up into place here. Clicky clicky. Put this back. Okay, that's all that. So this one here, the inspection plate, you're not going to be able to put this bolt back in. This bolt right here cannot go back in, but the others can. No big deal. So I'm going to get that plate back in, and then we're on to better things. And while I'm here, I think we're going to have a problem. That transfer case sits back pretty far, and the cross member with the angle, I think we might have a problem with that. I don't know what to do about that yet. We might end up cutting up this WFO cross member, because most of this is going to be structure right here, and most of the kits just hook onto the frame only. They don't have this big piece that goes side to side, so I might have to cut this here and here and drop it down at an angle, which should still have plenty of support for it, but we might have to do something different. I don't know. That's in the future, guys, so we deal with it in the future. Guys, look at how good this truck looks. There is no sludge in there. Of course, there's a lot from me dropping stuff in, but no sludge whatsoever in this motor. This is going to be a 300, 400,000 mile motor, no problem. That's exciting. Most of the time in motors like this, you'll see speckle in the bottom. There's nothing. I'm okay with that. So, there it is, guys. Inspection plates back on, new oil pans in. Now we're gonna fire up the Bobcat, grab the Dana 60 front, and in she go. Okay, burn an inch. 38. Now, do we want to try and overextend the
Yeah,
lines?
we want to pull through like all the way to the outside, if we can. If you can see your mark. Whatever, just pull as far through where you can. It's better to get it right on your dot than pull through further, you know what I mean? You on your dot?
Yep. Not a lot of tension on the line though.
Want more?
Yeah, pull it a little tighter. There you go. I'm centered on it.
Wish we had a third person to hold the middle and snap both sides.
I can snap.
Go ahead. Up. Once we get this line in here,
Yep.
then what we're going to want to do is find some other locations and do some of this. So we hash it out.
Should we do these dots while we're here? Or is that irrelevant?
Yeah, no, we'll do those and then I did like 2 in the middle of mine.
Okay. Let's do all of it and then
Okay.
I'll start
And
spraying.
you'll huff it all at the same time?
Yep.
Okay.
So what you guys just watched us do was mark some points on this truck. So we went off, you know, we got a little dot down there, and then we have a dot center of the bolt. And then same thing, we chose a bunch of areas on this thing that were symmetrical. And then we went ahead and did chalk lines on the ground and then cleared the chalk lines in. So now we got reference marks all the way around.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So we're not square center to center.
Also, let's pick like this, so. Get that little bit. You want me to pull?
Might be right there. We went a little too far. Just touch. Right there. Right there.
This side's beautiful. My side's good. How's yours?
I'm good. I had tons of room.
How much rod's left in those jack stands?
Quite a bit. That's nothing on them.
So do you think we could adjust those up without moving them?
Yep.
Because it's got that nice bearing on there?
Yeah, and they move pretty good. We could also just use a jack, pick up in front of it, and spin them up real fast by hand.
Yeah, but then we'll have to reset the whole thing to get it back on the grid.
Oh.
And then everything else will be back on. We'll probably get it back on that anyway.
It's important to wear safety glasses.
Yeah, I was just watching that.
Keep fucking doing that too.
Yep, I got a quarter to go.
So for all the people out there that were concerned that these jack stands weren't going to be strong enough, were going to be tippy, this is exactly what they were built for. And they're doing a fantastic job.
Eighth of an inch.
I got a stage. And that's for 25?
25 exactly. What do you think about something like that?
That might work.
Let's pull this apart.
Wait a minute, these aren't even the right side holes.
Yeah, it's just kind of giving us an idea. What do you think? That could work.
I think that's it.
It's a starting point for sure. The angle looks pretty good. I'll be a little bit lower, which will. I like that.
Guys, I've been about as good at filming this as OJ is with his wives. So at this point in time, we just have a lot of measurements and stuff that we were playing with. Front axle is set up at 5.6 degrees of caster right now. These lower brackets, which needed just a tiny bit of modification to fit the axle tube. You see Steve's putting the Johnny in over there, and our heavy duty PVC control arms. These are schedule 40, so I think they'll hold up just fine. we got the power steering pitman arm, this link in, and sighted over to the other side, and then we have our rough track bar, and we cut the entire bottom of the bracket off, so there's only one hole here. Kind of been doing a lot of stuff off camera because the whole first part of this was chalking out the ground and then trying to center up the axle and do all that. So now that we think we got it, we ended up raising the truck up to 25 inches, right? 25 inches to the bottom of the frame, and that gives us about 17.5 inches from hub down, which when the tires squatted should be similar to ride height. And that was only so that we could get about 4.5 inches or so of up travel here. And now we are trying to get the upper link bracket in, which, let me show you that. I just made a plate here. I'm gonna round over the edge here so it's a fish plate, drill out a few holes inside of this so I can plug weld that to the frame, and then here's my upper link bracket. This is a Barnes bracket. I ended up cutting off 1 inch in the back and leaving the front alone, so kind of tapered it. That gives me an angle outward. This is going right on top of the diff, so I'll try and be a little better about filming from here. That's where we're at. So here's the bracket that we came up with for the upper link. We got it all burned as much as we can, that way we can set it up against the frame and weld whatever we can get onto to weld. Got that all burred, got that burred, and then we're gonna truss it back to the cross link. So we'll see how that all works out. So guys, for our custom control arms, these are 1.5 inch plumbing devices, and what we're doing is we're slipping it over the Johnny joint. This is the actual bung. It fits in there tight, and then the other side just goes over the pipe, and we're clamping the hell out of it in order to get it nice and tight. So you can see that's going on it, and when we clamp that down, we'll be able to cycle the suspension just with these here clamps. Now, I watched a video that a guy, essentially what he did is he made 2 slices in it and then used a hose clamp on it. But I just feel like this is going to be a little stronger. These 1 tons, they're not light, so we want something nice and strong to make the bite so we can cycle the suspension with these in there. And if it works, we're actually going to drive it like this. If you drive the truck with these arms on it, you'll hit rocks and they'll slide right up the plastic with no problem. Lots of guys are doing this now, so nothing to worry about.
Oh, that was right on my ear. There we go. And the bolts. Where are the bolts? Right here.
I think the bottom hole is going to be.
I think it is going to be too. Unfortunately, I can't get the inside one in. Ready?
Let's see what she looks like so far.
I think we can come up at least. Let's go.
Well, let's see what we got for up travel. Right. So
I think we're looking at 5. Here's the tape right here.
I'm going to go to the bottom of the hub. So I got 14.5.
What's the slab go?
14.3.
That's probably your slab. I had the same problem on mine.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. How many pumps?
I don't know. I usually get 2. Let's see what we can get out of it. That's it. So that is hitting that, so the top of that bracket's got to go.
Yeah.
I can get another 1/2 inch.
Oh, check your pumpkin. Oh,
Hunking the track bar is going to be a problem.
So here's where we're at, guys. It's really hard to film this stuff, so I'm gonna have to just get you guys a couple pictures and then kind of come back and tell you what I'm doing here. These lower links, these guys here just pretty much made it up into the axles, and because we cut 2 inches of this axle to truss it, this bracket fits in perfectly. The other side just went right up against the knuckle here and kind of put 3 good tacks on it. In here we have obviously the WFO, and then up top there I used the Barnes mount, modified of course, and then it's tacked in a few places. That's going to be a real fun one to weld in. We had the track bar bracket here, but as you can see, it would hit the diff, so that's a no-no. So now I'm going to try and mount it inside the frame. I got to come up with something for up here, and it's basically going to come in here. Now it has to be low still, because if it's too high up, I'm going to hit the oil pan right here at flex because of this line. It has to be at the same plane as your tie rod end, which you can see has the heavy duty PVC in it too. So I need to follow this angle. So what I've come up with is I'm going to get a bracket in here. I'm going to have that bracket hang down lower, so it's going to kind of fit in here barely, and then over here I should be able to get up on the truss here a little bit and kind of poke into that, and we should be okay. I don't have a plan B. The other thing was I go full hydro and I get rid of the tie rod, I get rid of the pitman arm, which the pitman arm, as you can see, is limiting how far forward I can go with this axle. I'm as far forward as I can be and still have any kind of workability here. So what we did, now with full hydro in mind, I'm like, okay, so we'll get rid of the pitman arm, we can move the axle further forward. That gets us away from the back of the oil pan, and that frees everything up. But then started really looking at it, and this is as far forward as I really want it. With the 40s, we're going to be lined up probably right about here going down. So when I step up to 42, I'll be in front of the light a little bit. I don't want to damage the light. So at this particular point, all I can think to do is stick with what we have, because you're going to get more turning power with the gearbox and the assist than you're going to have with just full hydro. Plus, if you blow a line or anything, you're not coming out of the trail. So we're going to leave it. I just got to figure out how to get that track bar to work. Can't put it behind it because of the oil pan. And then we got another issue that's a bigger issue, the transfer case angle. That's going to be a huge problem. Not really sure how to address that one yet, but one step at a time. Let's figure out suspension, and then we'll figure out how to make it move. I think that's how to do it. I don't know, guys. Like I said, I've never done one of these before. Steve's done his, and I'm just trying to learn as we go here, trying to figure this stuff out. So that's going to kind of bring us up. Now, I didn't weld all this stuff in. I drilled it. I dropped the bolt in there. If we do have to go full hydro, I don't want any of this stuff in the way. I want to be able to modify it and do whatever I need to do. On this side here, you can see the bracket fits in there nicely. Goes over to the WFO cross member, and we have tons of room up here. So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of start messing around with brackets and farting around, guys, and see what I can come up with here. and then I'll take you along and give you little updates, maybe show you pictures of me cutting stuff. That's always super entertaining. We have lots of brackets. I assembled a few of them. This is going to be the bracket for the track bar that goes down to the axle. Not in current form will they work. These are designed for people without trusses and tons of room. They're always meant to be cut up and modified and done all sorts of fun stuff too. I don't know what these brackets are for. I have no clue actually, but that was in the kit. We got a bunch of fun parts over there. So, rambling again. Alright guys, so that's about as far as we're going to go today on this truck. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. On the next episode we should be able to get some steering figured out on this thing. Maybe get some lower control arms fully welded into it, and then you know, see where we end up from there. But pretty good progress today. We did the oil pan, we got mock-up on the links, identified a few problems, so I'd say it's a pretty productive time. Thanks again for watching guys. Catch you on the next one.